broker owners, how much time did you spend trying to recruit new agents or get your agents to generate business from people that they didn't know looking to buy or sell real estate already? How much time did you spend working with them on those specific growth activities? Usually very low. So very hard, and that's hard stuff to do. It's, it takes effort. It's extra work. So creating that growth environment through the 1-3-5 pyramid is everything, absolutely everything. The real estate agent business plan, okay? And I'm going to show you a sample plan right now for solo agents. As you guys know, at ICC, we coach many of the highest producing agents, teams, brokerages, luxury agents across the country. And we do coach a lot of solo agents too. A lot of people don't know that. I think we just coach the big hitters, and we do. But we also coach a lot of solo agents as well too. And then of course we coach those big hitters how to coach their solo agent. So I say that so that you understand I am coming from credibility on this topic. And we're going to show you a template of what a solo agent business plan should look like. And again, like we always do, we use the 1-3-5 template again and just fill it in with different growth activities, right? And they got to be direct growth activities still that are in direct alignment with that one goal at the top. The 3 focus areas are going to be a little bit different than with teams and brokerages, but they're going to have one big goal at the top, 3 focus areas that support them in the middle of the pyramid, and then the base, the foundation of the pyramid is going to be 5 objectives for each of those 3 foundational elements. And in the solo agent plan is typically very similar to that of a real estate team plan. It's just that, the different objectives down at the bottom, those 15 objectives aren't going to be quite as aggressive because there's less hands on deck to get them done, right? The hardest part about being a solo agent is holding yourself accountable, because the advantage that teams and brokerages have when they create these plans is they typically, if they're smart teams and smart brokerages, have weekly leadership meetings at the very least, right? Where they get together and they have that 1-3-5 business plan as a standing item on the agenda, so that they actually are always focusing on those growth activities. Because if they don't, status quo is going to take over and they're just going to solve problems all the time and put out fires. So the plan gets left on a shelf and they never focus on it. Big problem. And that's because we don't have any accountability to the plan, because the plan cannot solve all our problems and can't get us to our goals. We got to work the plan, which means we got to bring it out. That's why solo agents always should have a coach. That's why all top solo agents get a coach. Most agents say they can't afford a coach. So they expect that from their leadership. They expect it from their broker owners, from their team leaders, things like that. If an agent really truly, which I think every agent can afford a coach, it's the most important money they spend in business. And those that do become the top producing solo agents and ultimately teams and brokerage owners. But if you've got yourself convinced that your money's got to go to more important sources, I strongly disagree, but it is what it is. So there's a place for you. There's a place for you. I mean, go to join a team too, or you could just be very patient with your own trial and error over the course of your career. So that is the way typically agents think. So real estate team leaders, brokerage owners have a responsibility then to hold those solo agents accountable to their own plan. So ensuring that the agent then creates a 1-3-5 plan that encompasses only growth becomes their responsibility, okay? And making sure that agents keep only growth-focused items on those plans is what's huge, not a bunch of stuff they were going to do anyway, right? Like, I'm going to attend the Association of Realtors golf tournament. I'm going to spend more time going to different multiple listing service classes on how to use different software, or join committees at the Association of Realtors, or work on new business cards, or create a new logo. Those aren't things that are directly correlated to a production goal at the top, because typically we want that SMART goal to be either units closed, sales volume, or gross commission income for a solo agent, right? One of those 3 typically makes the most sense for a solo agent. They're measurable goals. We can see if we're ahead of them or behind them at any point in time throughout the course of a year, so that a coach or a manager or a productivity coach or a broker owner can sit down with them and see how they're doing and how they're tracking. And that'll often serve as motivation for them and puts a little spur in their hind end, so that they actually start trying to generate new business and pay attention to their plan again. And that plan should have a bunch of items that helps them generate more business as a solo agent to move that production up to that main goal. right? Different from a team. A team might have a little bit more towards leverage, so we're getting time back when we're planning out a real estate teams template, right? Because then there could be hiring other personnel, because typically there's, with a team, the team leader of the team typically has more production than they can handle, right? And that's why we got to get some time back because we're getting overworked. Or with a solo agent, the majority of the time we're trying to increase production. So almost everything down below should be production generated and in alignment with that, in direct alignment with a production goal that gets them the amount of income that they want. That's why that ICC business tracker is crucial. We have to establish that GCI goal based on the unit count or the sales volume we need or whatever we determine there, and determine how many leads we need and what our conversion rates are going to be. So we know we get really dialed in tight before we do a 1-3-5 plan. We need to determine how many listings we need to carry out at all time in our listing needed exercise on the ICC business tracker. We need to do our seller and buyer side conversion rate calculations as well on the ICC business tracker. And then those should fall in just in alignment. Then we can successfully know where our focus needs to be when we're doing a 1-3-5 business plan format. Okay. So for the 1-3-5 business plan format, let me show you what that sample template should look like. This is the solo agent plan, and you can see this agent has a goal to close 45 transactions, and they're going to divide that up into 3 major focus areas. They're going to establish an online presence, they're going to lead generate for new business daily, and they're going to organize their sphere of influence in their CRM database and systematically grow it and contact it. Then we take those 3 focus areas and line them out and develop 5 very specific objectives for each of those. Okay. 5 specific. Now, establishing an online presence, that one, I'd have to take a look at that. I mean, we're okay here because, again, we've created and used this sample template. But that establishing an online presence, that could be, hey, just working on my website and things like that. We got to make sure that this is geared towards us generating more business, right? And just spending all your time on a website could be dangerous, right? Updating all your social media profiles could be good too, unless we start using them. We have to have some lead generation around that too. So it's very easy to just create a bunch of busy work that makes us feel good, that doesn't generate. So real important that there is things that will get us business now and later in the course of this first year, not way down the road and things like that. We have a goal as a solo agent. Everything's got to be geared to business right now. Okay, business right now. So what we've got, let's zoom in a little bit. So as we zoom in, you can see this nice and closely. We're going to close 45 transactions. They're going to establish the online presence, lead generate for new business daily, and organize their SOI and their CRM and systemically grow it and contact it. Notice we're going to systemically grow it and contact it. We're not just going to organize it in the CRM. We got to get some business on this too, right? And over here we have COI. That's also center of influence, right? Core of influence, circle of influence, the same as sphere of influence. They're all round, so we put it different ways because different people call it different stuff. But again, here's what we're going to do. They're going to lead generate every Monday through Friday for 3 hours, and make sure that the 3 hours, because boy, they all got to be all lead generation. They're going to alternate contacts. Some days sphere of influence, some days FSBO, some day expired. Just listed, just sold. They're going to meet with an accountability partner. That's great. They're going to time block. That's great. They're going to contact people in their sphere. They're going to contact 50 a week in their sphere. They're going to attend CRM trainings to help get everyone uploaded and into campaigns in their CRM. Boy, that's a nice dedication to getting their SOI together and systematized, right? They're going to work on their online presence. They're going to update all their social media network profiles and get an action plan for communication on each of those, probably using our Facebook and Instagram 10-10-5 formats, etc. Creating personal landing pages for those social media networks, agent websites for sellers and buyers. This person is getting real techie, right? They're even going to blog, right? But that's, these are examples. There's lots of things I've seen in here for agents that work, lead generating for new business and your SOI, usually 1 or 2 of those is in there as well too. It could be geographic farming in here, could be, researching and generating online lead sources, could be paying for online lead sources, could be door knocking around here. We could break it up into different lead generation techniques as well too. Could be getting skills training, like you're working on, being very, very specific about getting different training for listing appointments, buyer consultation appointments, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Could be getting a coach or increasing your accountability, things like that. All of those things are in direct alignment with your big goal up at the top, which as a solo agent, which is really, really powerful and important to do. And so that I hope you use that business plan. Use that with all agents you work with. Use it with yourselves. Use it because that 135 template is what creates that growth and carves out growth in your business. Again, if you ask yourself, how much time did I spend in the last 2 weeks trying to generate new business from people I didn't know or people I didn't know were looking to buy or sell already? Usually those numbers are pretty low for all agents. Just like broker owners, how much time did you spend trying to recruit new agents or get your agents to generate business from people that they didn't know looking to buy or sell real estate already? How much time did you spend working with them on those specific growth activities? Usually very low. So very hard, and that's hard stuff to do. It's, it takes effort, it's extra work. So creating that growth environment through the 135 pyramid is everything, absolutely everything. Okay. So before I leave you guys, I want to give you one thing. I want to show you, this is our fillable plan. Okay. So I want to give you our fillable plan. This is blank and you can use it to fill out your own. You can type in here anything you want. So you could be, I'll type into the top 100 units. Let's say you're going to close 100 units this year, and we're going to do it through lead generation. We're going to do it through working on our SOI. Please capitalize it for you. And we're going to do it through career development. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to actually recopy those three. Lead gen goes here, SOI goes here, et cetera, et cetera. And then we might time block daily, and we can actually write this all out. And it's a fillable form, so it makes it nice and clean. You can change the fonts and everything and all that kind of stuff. It's a fillable PDF format, so it works on any type of format. So download that, take that, give that out to your agents, use it as agents. Then the key is put accountability behind it, right? We got to be meeting with somebody else. So very important that agents have a broker manager, a sales manager, a team leader to go to, or it's just going to get lost. Very rarely can someone hold themselves accountable to their own plan. It just doesn't happen. Okay. It just doesn't happen. And that's the value that leadership provides. So I hope that helps.